When was the first time you saw Bryce Young? When did you connect with him, John?
14 years old, I think he was. He was an 8th grader. And he came to our field. I remember he was doing the workout, and one of our other coaches, Taylor Kelly, was like, hey, you got to, watch this kid. This kid's pretty impressive for a 14-year-old. And he was. From the get-go, the kid showed some innate skills, some ability to kind of make some throws that were very unique. And then I was also really impressed with how quick of a release, how strong of an arm he had at that young of an age.
At that young of an age.
Yeah, and then you just watched him progress. And he went up and, transferred to Mater Dei. I want to say going into his junior year, started for them for a couple of years, was tops in the country, commits to Alabama. I've been fortunate. I got to watch a spring game there with him one time. I went out and did some stuff with him, and he's just been special really the entire time.
And the specialness for Bryce Young, and what I heard at the Combine so much about, was his football intelligence, FBI, as it was referred to so much, that he has a unique ability to absorb a game plan and execute it. You got a good story about that, John?
Yeah. So I'll say this. I've been doing the pre-draft prep stuff for quarterbacks for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably one of the, maybe if not the first guy where I actually, after one of the times I just kind of said, Bryce, hey, let's talk. I get the sense that this is so much of what you've already understood, you've already done. And I kind of liken it to, if I were to bring somebody that's been in the league for 2 to 3 years and put them through the pre-draft process of the thing that we do. We watch tape, we show NFL clips. Hey, have you experienced this? Is this concept new to you? Do you have experience running this? Have you seen this coverage? They're learning as they're going. It was like Bryce had experienced it almost. And whether it's because of what he was exposed to at Alabama, how he absorbs information, whatever they were doing, he is so well prepared right now for the position that he's in. And so for me, it was the first time where I felt like for him, I might need to do some other things that challenge him, because our normal flow for the pre-draft kind of information acquisition process, it's like he'd almost done it before.
And then how will that translate to an NFL transition from college to rookie? I mean, how will that manifest itself in a way that teams know it, see that, experience it, whether it's in an interview at the Combine or at one of the top 30 visits, or it's a pro day conversation? How will they hear this, know this, and maybe shoot him further up a draft board because of it, do you think, John?
Well, I think they'll sense comfort. You can tell when something's new to somebody. You can tell when they have experience, let's say putting it on the board.
Yeah.
A lot of the times in the pre-draft process as a coach, you're putting concepts on the board and you're talking through that. And all the guys at this stage are bright. They all get it. They all understand football. But do they have the experience actually doing it in a game, an 11-on-11 situation? Whether that's a game rep, a practice rep, have they played it out? Because here's one of the differences between a young quarterback and a veteran quarterback in the league. A lot of young quarterbacks are smart, but they lack the experience. The veteran quarterbacks, they can tell you, look, that's what the read is, but here's what I do. Or I can get through the progression quicker because I know I can eliminate one this fast. Well, young guys, they don't have that experience yet. Bryce is probably going to be able to get in those positions and say, oh yeah, I've had that experience. I can get off one that faster. I know what I can do here. I know I'm going to have this will linebacker's eyes. It's going to be that almost as if he's played a year, even though he hasn't. And I think the big thing nowadays with the pro football is when you're drafting the guys high, it's no longer about, here's our offense, we have to get you up to speed on our offense, and you got to do what we want. I sense more now, it's like, let's see what this guy's done before, what he's good at, because if we're going to play him early, it's going to need to be things that he's comfortable with. And so if I have a guy like Bryce coming into my building to be the quarterback, there's so much that he's going to be comfortable with, which helps, especially if you are a young play caller. And I know there's veteran play callers in Carolina, but if you're in Houston and you got a first-year play caller, that's going to help to have a guy that has some experience in those different concepts.
Right, and you're referring to Andy Dalton being in Carolina. That's what you're referring to, that there's somebody that's there as a veteran.
No, I'm saying a coach, like a veteran play caller.
Like Frank Reich.
Like Frank Reich. He's developed quarterbacks. He's had young quarterbacks, right? Bobby Slowick, a first-year offensive coordinator in Houston. This is going to be his first time being an offensive coordinator. And if they decide to draft a quarterback with that second pick, it'll be his first time with a young quarterback. There is a difference in terms of what that play caller can do when he knows I have a guy that has that experience.
Well, and so the idea that Frank Reich is in Carolina, and you take a look at the guys that he's had, to develop.
Absolutely.
And you could even include himself in that process. I mean, you just see the photographs of him dapping up all the the guys that he has put through the paces and been through in all the pro days, and you've seen him at those. He's eye to eye with C.J. Stroud, and clearly he's not with Bryce Young. That he likes big guys, and that's why C.J. Stroud might be the choice of the Carolina Panthers. Did you get that sense at all,
You know
John?
what? It's been interesting to have conversations because there's people in that building that I know really well. Josh McCown was a teammate of mine in Miami. We've stayed in touch the whole time. He actually, his kids come and train with us when we're in Texas. And so he's a guy that, like, you know, I talk very openly to, because whatever quarterback goes to Carolina, I want it to be the right fit for both. I want it to be the right fit for Carolina and the right fit for that quarterback. And I know they like both guys. I know that they have things with both guys that they see, that they like, that captures their like imagination. Hey, here's what we can do with this guy. Here's what we like with this guy. CJ's a big body guy, big, thick, strong legs, athletic for his build. I know they like that, because when you got to play 17 games and you're getting hit as a quarterback, size can help. I mean, I take one of the guys that I work with a lot, Dak Prescott. He's as built, as in shape, as muscular as they come. That 17-game season plus playoffs, that's still a beating on his body.
Yes.
Well, when you start thinking about, all right, now we're going to insert a young guy, he's going to make some mistakes. He's going to take some probably unnecessary hits just because he doesn't have the experience of the pro game yet. How's his body going to hold up through that course of a season? And that can impact a decision.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.